What's up, guys? Joe White here. Coming to you from Tennessee today. The mountains, the Smoky Mountains. I'm about 20 minutes south of Knoxville today. And wanted to give a shout out to my boy, Emperor Big D. My boy Danny over there at World of Geekdom. That's WorldofGeekdom. Did a brilliant video today. Collaborated with another man on Loki. The big Loki season finale and what we think will happen. And Marvel has placed this thing early in the timeline before Ant-Man Quantumania, so we don't know when this is happening. We don't know what's going to happen in relation to that. It's coming out the same day as the Marvels, which I will talk about here in a minute. If you hear something in the background, it's my fan over here. Anyway, I've been enjoying Loki Season 2. It's easily the best thing that the MCU has done. Dare I say this year. I'll put it to you this way. Danny and his friends' discussion of the Loki Season 2 and what it means for Kang the Conqueror going forward made me want to go back and watch Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Aside from, there's an old movie. It's an old black comedy that the Wayans brothers did called Don't Be a Menace in South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. That was the full title of the movie. A lot of people just call it Don't Be a Menace, but I like the full title. Don't Be a Menace in South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. That's pretty damn clever. One of the Wayans brothers, every time somebody like a life lesson is learned in the movie or something is happening that gets serious, one of the Wayans brothers pops his head and he goes, "Message!" That's what I feel like needs to happen in a MCU, Disney, whatever movie for the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years plus. Actually, I can't, for overall Disney, yeah, but for Marvel, I will say ever since Endgame. Or even ever since Captain Marvel came out. That's what started it, I think. The Brie Larson thing. Nobody likes you, Brie Larson. I'm sorry. Nobody likes you. You get on interviews and people are like, oh, what is it like to be the next, superhero or this? And she goes, I'm not going to be the next this. I'm going to be the next me. And the way she says it is just like, put it so, it totally. Go back and watch that interview right before Endgame. She totally just. She's sitting there next to Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle is just like rolling his eyes, and it's like, screw you too, He gets this look on his face like, whoa, I can't believe she went there, But I feel like every time they do this crap, like I went back and watched Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and every time Cassie Lang is on screen, I feel like every other sentence, the Wayans brothers ought to be popping their head on the screen. Message, we're sick and tired of being preached to. We're sick and tired of being told that we need to think certain things about, or certain ways about certain things. It's not up to you, Disney and Marvel, to preach to us. So, the fans have gotten sick of it. The projections for the Marvels coming in at under, some of them have as low as 40 million. from what I've seen. Some of the projections. But I got to give a shout out to my boy, Danny. They really did get a good grasp on what might happen in the Loki season finale. We're getting the Loki God of storyline. I'm not going to go in and explain it here. There's 1,000 YouTube videos that will explain. But what they've basically done is they're going to make Loki, if they follow through with this, he's like a god version of Deadpool. Like a Norse god Deadpool. If not way more overpowered than that. He has the ability to go through time and space to whatever point he wants, whenever point he wants in Marvel Comics, and rewrite history and change the way things happen. He has the ability to break the fourth wall. Will we see Loki breaking the fourth wall like Deadpool? Like, I don't want to say it as my reefer unit kicks on. She-Hulk. But if Loki, maybe we see Loki pop his head into the X-Men universe. Maybe, and this could happen at any time, on any timeline, in any universe. Loki is literally the god of stories. He can write any story he wants to. Golly, that reefer unit's really loud. Sorry, guys. It's the job. What else? I mean, it's not just how they get there or where they get to. It's how they get there. I've really loved the character of OB this season in Loki. He's played by the guy, if you ever seen the movie The Goonies, the little Korean kid with all the gadgets, that's him. And he sounds just like it too. He hasn't changed. I always thought he was like a little kid throwing it, playing up as a gimmick. No, that's him. And I'm loving it. There was a lot of talk on the He Who Remains character. Is it the He Who Remains that gets banished and sent to the quantum realm? Or is it a different variant of Kane that is He Who Remains? I think it's a different variant. I don't think He Who Remains is the same guy. I think this is a different variant of Kane and Kang. Not the Kings, the Kangs. There's a reference for you. A little original Kings of Comedy reference there for you. Not the Kings, the Kangs. Girl, I'm going to see the Kangs. Anyway, I'm excited for the Loki season finale. They keep saying, you won't believe what's going to happen. And then you got the Marvels. Again, I've heard as low as 40 million domestically. And I'm not surprised. They delayed this movie so much, so many times, and for so long, and you can't blame COVID anymore. We've been out of the COVID pandemic for about not 3 years. About at least a year and a half. When are we going to stop using the COVID crutch, as it were? Or as it is. Our business is in the toilet because of COVID. This is in the toilet because of COVID. This is blah, blah, blah. That hasn't stopped, Spider-Man from grossing a bunch. It didn't stop people from going to Barbie. It didn't stop people from going to Oppenheimer. You can't blame COVID for your shortcomings any longer, movie studios. You just can't. And apparently the director has a upcoming project that she had to get to filming on with Tessa Thompson, who plays Valkyrie, I believe, in the Thor movies. God, that's really loud. I'm so sorry, you guys. But anyway, I think it's getting ready to stop. I hope it's getting ready to stop. It sounds like it's getting ready to blow up. I hope it don't blow up. I'm right next to it. But she has had to go, the Marvels got delayed so many times that she actually had to leave halfway through post-production. She had to leave halfway through post-production. She's like, we already knew what we were going to do, but they delayed it so many times, and I had another project, and they knew that I had another project lined up, and that I could not let those guys down, which is understandable. But they delayed it so much that she had to leave halfway through post-production. So if there's CGI in here that doesn't look good, which it will be, because let's face it, the last, couple of Marvel projects had unfinished almost CGI. Spider-Man No Way Home, you got to leave that out because that's Sony. Sony has final say in those movies. And then you have so many of these people that want to go on and create. I'll call them out. Everything Always, Yellow Flash, Mr. H Reviews, the people over at Midnight's Edge. Everybody takes one Variety article and picks it apart and clickbaits you into 4 different videos. Guys, go read the article for yourself. Don't give these rich YouTubers the time of day. Because they took one Variety article, and nowhere has Marvel or Disney or anybody else came out and said, yes, we've rehired Robert Downey Jr. In my opinion, that is a rumor. Still a rumor. And if they did that, I'm not a big fan of them bringing back the old stars, because it's just like in WWE. When everything goes to crap, what do? They bring back Stone Cold, or they bring back The Undertaker, they bring back John Cena. Triple H used to wrestle a match every year. They would do an old school Raw where everything would look like it used to be for 1 week, the ratings would spike, and then bam, they'd go right back down in the crapper the next week. So, I'm not a fan of it. Just give us good characters. Stick a little bit more to what the comics are doing. Not the modern comics, the older comics. Stop shoving the message down our throat. I mean, the Kathleen Kennedy, the South Park episode, it's not just Kathleen Kennedy. It's all of Disney. It's all of Disney. Look at what they do with Snow White and the controversy surrounding that actress. And the way they're portraying the dwarves. Look at what they, put a chick in it, make her gay and lame. There you go, that's what'll sell. It needs to stop. And I think Marvel, and hopefully Kevin Feige and Disney, have gotten the message. Hopefully they've gotten the message. And after this weekend, when it hits them in their damn collective Wall Street wallets, the stock is already tanking. Maybe if this film opens to 20 million only, it'll tank a little bit further. And they'll get our message. Message, we don't want to be preached to. Message, put a chick in it, make her gay and lame, does not work. They need to get our message. And the message is quit preaching to us. Because guess what? They've gone woke. Now they're going to go broke if this keeps up. It's been happening for at least the last few years. And it needs to stop. Now, I will say this about the Marvels. I did like Miss Marvel. I liked the series of Miss Marvel. I liked the Kamala Khan character. I'm all for doing that. I'm all for having diversity. If it's good. Remember, I've been saying this for years. Just because it's diverse doesn't mean it's going to be good. You can have it diverse. Present it classy. Don't shove it down our throats. Say, hey, here's the Indian. Here's the black man. You know what changed? Samuel L. Jackson. They race swapped Nick Fury, and it turned out to be good. Because I find it, I don't think Samuel L. Jackson's going to put his name on something that's utter crap, no matter how much they pay him. They wrote Rhodey, James Rhodey Rhodes. They wrote him good. He's a black guy. They've had women in the MCU, like Black Widow. That was good. Up until they decided to give her a solo movie, in which Florence Pugh was the best part of that. But now we got the whole... I played Spider-Man 2. I haven't finished Spider-Man 2. I'm looking forward to doing that over the holiday. And there's so many gay references. They push so hard for gay references. And we're diverse. But in order to sell the game over in India and in China, they had no problem removing all the gay pride references and everything else because they knew that they would not be able to sell their game overseas otherwise. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying they have no problem selling out. They can remove the message for overseas countries, but they shove it down our throats here in America. They shove it down the UK's throats. So, you went woke. Now it's time to hear our message. Because you're going to go broke if it doesn't stop. I don't think it's superhero fatigue. I don't think it's movie fatigue. People are getting sick of going to movies. I think they're sick of being preached at. They're sick of having you sit there and say that you have billions upon millions of dollars or whatever the case may be into these budgets, and the CGI looks like crap. We're sick and tired. You can't blame the actor strike, because all this shit was written and done before the actor strike and the writer strike. You can't blame strikes and COVID for bad writing, acting, and CGI. You just can't do it. You can't blame COVID for so many delays and reshoots because you knew what you were doing is crap. And guess what? When it comes to doing reshoots on things like the Marvels, polish a turd, it's still a turd. You can't blame a director walking out midway through post-production on your show because you delayed it so many times because you realized what you have is crap, so she leaves to go do another project. She can say it's not as dramatic all she wants to. And I'm not letting the character, the director get off either. She wanted to do things like time travel and Adam Warlock with the story. It has no place here. Thank God Disney shut her down on that one. This shows you how long this movie's been in development. She wanted to put Adam Warlock in it, and they had to tell her, no, Adam Warlock's getting introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And that's another thing they do. They bring these directors in, these high-profile directors, and they don't even let them, why don't you give them a guidebook? Say, here, read this before you direct her. I mean, it's sad that you got to do that. That just shows you that they're force-feeding us too much content. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm rambling. I just hope that this Loki season finale, a lot of people are going, yes, this is peak MCU, man. This is what we want. And if you're not watching Loki, it's really a good show. Tom Hiddleston is amazing in it. Owen Wilson. I'm not a huge Owen Wilson fan. Get your fucking nose fixed. You make how many millions of dollars in your career and you can't get your fucking nose fixed? I can't stand Owen Wilson's acting. But I like him in this. This is probably his best work of his career. Anyway, if you see a big rig out there on the road, give us lots of room. Do not tailgate us. Let us over if we need to get over. If we signal, let us over. Yeah, it's going to slow you down for a few minutes, but oh well. I've seen a lot of wrecks happening on the road this last month. because people are impatient. So let us over if we need to get over. Go the speed limit. That's another thing. Now, I'm not telling you to go over the speed limit. Go the speed limit. If it says 60 miles an hour, 65, go 65. Don't go 55. Because it's actually just as dangerous. It's equally dangerous to not go the speed limit out there and hold us up and have us slam on our brakes and everything like that to compensate than it is to be, it's equally harmful as speeding. And I honestly think that there should be more tickets written for people not wanting to go the speed limit. If you can't see our mirrors, we can't see you. And we'll see you down the road.